are you? Hey, look at your beautiful backgrounds.
Yeah, I'm going to the Zoom. I need to try the other ones maybe for tomorrow's call. It's like, this is one of the 30-day breakaway backgrounds. It's so fun.
It's so fun. Okay, a couple housekeeping items as we get into this and getting started. Yes, this is recorded, so we'll have that link. Number one, if you are multitasking, that's totally fine. Mute your video because it's distracting to everybody else. So if you're doing anything other than sitting up, paying attention and listening to this call, mute your video. Secondly, just double check and make sure that your sound is muted as well. And then third, make Idalis your speaker view. Just make her as big as you possibly can make her on your screen. Ever take up your entire screen. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, Idalis, we know that you have lots of calls back to back, and we've got lots of.
This is the last one today. Let me double check.
Well, we're going to be on here for 2 hours. No, we're kidding.
Yeah, no, honestly, because there's always questions, and let me double check. Yes, sir, today. Yes. So we're gonna have to rush it.
Yay. Okay, so because you have one program, Mestimas, and now you have this one, why don't you take this opportunity to kind of share your story with us, introduce yourself, let the coaches get to know you that maybe didn't do Mestimas and all of that. And I'm going to hit speaker view and mute myself to let you take over.
So first of all, thank you so much for taking time to be here with me so that we can talk. I'll get to know each other and talk about the 30-day breakaway because I am so excited. My name is Idalis Velasquez. And for those of you that are not familiar with me, I've been with Beachbody almost 3 years. It's going way too fast. Before being with Beachbody, I was a former athlete. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Then by the time I was 24, years prior, I had a really bad car accident. And between that and the training that I used to do as a former elite athlete, the amount of plyos, the amount of heavy lifting and high impact things, my neck got really in bad shape to the point that I started getting injuries in other areas. So in the search of finding what was happening with me, when it was weird because I was in my best shape, but also getting really too many setbacks. That's when they discovered that my neck, my herniated disc, they were starting to press against the spinal cord. So that meant for me to retire from everything that I knew. I was told by the time I couldn't lift weights, I couldn't do anything high impact. And honestly, that's all I knew how to do. I wasn't familiar at the time with any other forms of exercises. And even the things that I saw, I didn't enjoy, because it's really hard to tell someone who, since literally I have memories, I've been competing. I had the opportunity to go to a boarding light school in Puerto Rico that specializes in developing athletes from the ages 12 to 18. So you live in that school from Sunday to Friday. And I'm sharing this because sports, which is all I knew. I knew sports more than even family. It was a weird way of growing up, when you're just traveling and competing since you're young. So when that was taken away from me, it was really harsh. I didn't have a plan B in life at all. I was just one of those big dreamers, and I'm I'm just gonna go to the Olympics. I'm just gonna keep. That was the way that I earned my life, everything. I know God and life had other plans, but I am really happy that happened, because after that, I decided to stay at home for a bit, since I had Mia when I was 22 at a time. And I obviously being in school and things, I kind of missed a lot from her. And then by the time I was 25, 26, we decided to get pregnant again. And that was another complication that I had during that pregnancy. I wasn't feeling well, and some of the doctors, they were being dismissive. And then keep in mind, already was years of not being active, so my body was debilitating as well. So I used to get a lot of migraines, but I would always say, oh, that is because of the neck. So one day when I was 32 weeks pregnant, I was laying in bed with my husband, and I got this sudden pain, and sudden pain in the back of my head. So if something like that ever happens to you, sudden, you have to go to the hospital. Do not ignore it. Thank God I did. They thought I had eclampsia when they told us you need to go to the hospital, but it happened to me that I have SAH, which is a small bleeding in the brain, a blood vessel pop out. So obviously when we got I already knew there was something wrong, but we got the news. I was in so much pain. And when you're pregnant, they couldn't do much about it. And I was just like, we look at each other. They had to transfer me to another hospital. And it was kind of like, okay, I literally called my family in Puerto Rico. So it was really like a very bad date. And then even following weeks and months after that. So after that process, to say that my health took a torn for the worse is an understatement. Like I became like someone that it was like a shell of the person that I used to be. Not only I was suffering physically, I started suffering emotionally. I was living in fear. And my mindset become so poor, even though I try my best to be strong. I was not a vulnerable person. I was raised thinking like, you need to be strong, you need to be this person. And that kind of like backfired because I just isolated myself. And then instead of getting help, but then after months of more health issues, I will barely have energy or struggle to bathe my baby at a time. A lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars in hospitals. I got really fed up with the system. I'm like, I'm not getting answers. They keep telling me I cannot do these things, but I'm just getting worse and worse and worse. And I remember one day after one appointment, I was like, I had it. Like I was just crying. I cannot keep living like this. My body it was getting worse. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to take action and I'm going to focus on what you can do. It was really hard. But I started like educating myself. I made a lot of mistakes in the process. I bought so many books about nutrition. I started eating vegetables because I did not eat vegetables. Oh, until this day, I force myself to eat vegetables. I just don't, I don't get, I can't relate to people who just love it. I'm Puerto Rican. I like I just is so different. But the thing is, but now I eat vegetables, not as much as I should, but good thing, I juice and I do Shakeology and I do other things. But for me, still a process. Like I'm not perfect when it comes to nutrition, but I did started to apply everything that I was learning. And then the same apply with movement. I started to do trial and error, like playing around. I was following coaches who take literally people to the Olympics and are like some of the world renowned strength and conditioning. They used to have DVDs by the time, and it was not at home fitness, but it was like very, very smart training that it forced me to have to study more books to understand the physiologically and the human anatomy and everything so that I could really understand what was going on with my body. And then I decided I'm studying so much, I might as well get certified because I was just buying the books from the certifications like NASM, which is the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So it was by the time I decided to get certified, it was easy because I already had all this knowledge. So then I decided I got stronger. I went for my first run. I was a little familiar with Beachbody. I even did Turbo Fire, the little glove thing that you're like, and then you punch, remember that? and it was like such a new thing for me because again, I came from like training like crazy, but it was so much fun. And it was just, I was adding movement and that was the first at-home workout I ever did. Did I finish the whole program? No, but I love 2 of the workouts and I keep doing them. And then I did P90X. Because of my body, I was only able to do lower body and a little bit of the yoga and some of the core exercises. So, but I loved it. And he was the person that really got me pumped about at-home fitness. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can get a crazy workout from your home. And that he was the person who inspired me, that when I started my business locally, whatever I was sharing online till this day, everything that I share is for at home. What can you do at your home with minimal equipment? So I always have that vision that I wanted to deliver to people who just don't go to the gym, because I don't like to go to the gym. I train clients at the gym, but I get distracted. Oh my God, I get so distracted when I go to the gym and it's not worth it for me. And then I ended up creating my at-home gym. So then I started working with all the companies. I've been very, very blessed. It wasn't something, it took time. I had so many great opportunities. I got to work with Women's Health. I was a fitness advisor for them for a few years. For Men's Health, I did a Pop Sugar Fitness, GQ magazine. So I started getting well known in the industry, and then I created my first at-home workout, which it was all in 18. It was bilingual. And then Beachbody was looking for a Latina trainer. And then I remember after I filmed all in 18, the same day I was already thinking about Beachbody, because to me Beachbody was the goal, like what, as a trainer, and I wanted to be the first Latina trainer. And by then the odds were like small, but I was like, hey, if women's health is trying to attract Latino, I'm guessing other big brands are going to do so. And that's how Beachbody found me, through that program. And it was and yeah, so when I got the email and the call, I was like, I've been waiting for you guys to call me. It was just meant to be. I had another, it was funny because I had like, and I know Julie does Peloton, so Peloton have offered me the job at the same time, but it required for me to move to New York to lead the treadmill division. How ironic. And now I'm doing the running. And it was good because I use it as leverage. I'm like, they want me. But I always knew I wanted Beachbody because it was more in alignment with what I like to do at home fitness and the audience that needed to. Like, I am more attracted to the people who, whether you're really overweight, whether you've never exercised before, people who've been told, oh, there's no way you're going to get healthier again. And I feel like Peloton has a different kind of audience. Like, they're more like already fitness savvy and they have all the money in the world to spend because that equipment is expensive. So it was meant to be. So obviously I started with Beachbody. And yes, and then I got to create Mes de Mas. I was expecting, I found out that I was expecting, and we filmed Mes de Mas in weeks 14 to 16. And then when after I was starting to get in shape, I started bothering the boss. I'm like, hey, I'm ready. I want to work. Give me another job. Like, I like to create, like I need to work. And then I wanted to do a strength training workout because that is my specialty. I didn't associate Beachbody with running, but then he was the one that actually had the vision. He was the one that said, like, we need something different. And at the beginning, I am going to be completely honest, I couldn't see it. And as I started creating the program, as I started filming, as I started to do the workouts and I used to run regardless, but I started adding more running. I just felt deeply in love. And I've never worked in a project that I feel so proud. And what we've been able to accomplish with the test group, with the people that have done this program, has been incredible. So I'm really, really excited, as you can tell, to talk about it.
That is a great story. And I literally, I'm sure I speak for others, like I have chills just listening to you talk about that and that whole story. And here you are. It really was meant to be that you are here with this program. So there are some questions in the chat. So I want to make sure that we get to those. What do you want, before we get to those questions, because some of them might be answered by what you want to share, but what do you want to share with us? So, because it is so different, and I know many of us have done the audio. I messaged you, I'm like, I did it. I actually did it. I did the short one, then I did the strength training one. So they're so great. And personally, I just love listening to your accent so much. So I just could enjoy it for that. But what do you want us to know with this new workout, this format that Beachbody's never had anything like it? What do you want us to know first before we dive into questions?
This program is literally a first. We're opening a whole new world, because even other brands like Peloton and others, they have like two things, but they don't have one program that has both the option to do outdoor runs, the audience, and then the treadmill. And we have the strength training combined. So this program, and then it's the first program in the entire world besides All in 18 that it is actually bilingual. And we are literally doing something that people do all the time. What is the first thing that people think they have to do when it comes to weight loss? I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start running. Now we have the solution, but we're going to do it in a smart, accessible, and sustainable way. And we're going to do it adding strength training, which should be the foundation of everything that we do, so that you guys can actually get the best of both worlds. We're going to be increasing your performance and your aesthetics. You're going to be increasing your mobility, your longevity, and getting stronger. So the program is 60% strength training, 40% running. And the running parts, are not easy, but they are doable because it is about what you can do. So I think actually even the sample was a little bit hard because I was trying to combine a little bit of everything. So there was less walking, but in the normal workouts, if you're a beginner, or even if you just want to, like, you don't want to overdo the run, you increasing their stamina, their VO2 max, and get the best results when it comes to fat loss as well. We're lifting first, which means that you're burning through your body's glycogen, which is the carbohydrates, and that is our body's first source of energy. So when you lift heavy and you do those 20 to 27 minutes, that is usually what it takes, and then you go push your shoes, and then you do the running part, the cardio. It is interval based, so your body has to start tapping into store fat loss. And that's why we have people in the program that one of the things they're literally going to say in the marketing, it is lose up to 15 pounds and run your first 5K. So that is incredible. We have people losing 15 pounds in 1 month, and that is like, to me, that's a huge number. I don't even want people to get too excited because we saw a lot of loses inches. And I think I want people to really focus on the performance side, on empowering and all the non-skill victories. That is more my approach, but it is happening. Now we're getting amazing results. And most importantly, there's people who were hated run, didn't even want to be in the test group, and now they're doing round 2 because they fell in love with the process, they fell in love with the program, and with churning the, oh, there's no way I'm gonna do that, I can't do that, went to like, oh my God, I did it. And I've been working in fitness for years. I've never seen people crying, but like happiness, feeling empowered. And this is exactly what I wanted to create, a program that makes people feel good, that helps you connect, not that helps you like feel bad, like cannot do anything, or just stop focusing on the weight loss and just start connecting with your body. And the same goes with the nutrition. This program has allowed people to be more flexible because people were getting so hungry, so they needed to start eating more. And I am not going to tell you, no, stick to this. No, listen to your body. If your body, you wanted to run the 5K in 30 days, if you want to keep getting stronger, be intuitive about the approach that you choose, because that's how you improve your fitness, and that's how you improve the relationship with your body and with your nutrition. And that is really hard. It is easier said than done, but this program really pushes women to be more intuitive, because if not, you're just going to feel like crap doing the workouts, honestly.
Well, that's your official welcome to Beachbody, I think, even more than Mestre Mas. If people are crying at the end of your program, at the end of your workout, then you know you made it, because that's like a big sign. I mean, there's a lot of crying that happens in Beachbody. So that's a good sign. So if someone is putting this workout in for the first time, can you walk us through logistically? Because I heard you say, maybe change your shoes between the lifting and the running. So let's say they're pressing play on the very first time. Kind of walk us through how that first workout is going to be, and in a logistical setup.
So the first thing you have to decide, and you have to be honest with yourself, what calendar can you commit to it? What is your lifestyle? What is your goals? And what time frame do you have? So the program is very versatile. We have a time crunch, which is like 20 to 30 minutes, including warm up and cool down. So like, I would say 30 minutes at the most. And then that one, you do one run, and then you do a strength training. Like you kind of like alternate this. We also have a lot of mobility work, including in recovery. And then we have the basic calendar. Expect to work out 30 to 45 minutes a day. 50 minutes some days if you are in La La Land in between finding your shoes or finding your phone to get out, like little things like that. Yeah, it's true. But everything is under an hour. And it's not like 5 days a week that it's gonna be that length. And then advanced calendar. The advanced calendar, I honestly only recommend that for people who already done the basic calendar twice, or people who are just the person who really commits to running 5 times a week. Go for it. Or someone who really wants to get crazy results, like maybe you have a wedding, maybe you have something. Do the advanced one, because you lift and you do the intervals 4 to 5 times a week. So that's how I would do it. but that can be a little bit more taxing. If you're doing the advanced calendar, you need to eat really good. You should not be drinking alcohol. It's not one of those flexible, like you need to take care of the recovery and regeneration part. You need to drink your recover every day, your Shakeology, your energize. And even there's people that have talked about the recharge at night, because it is incredible. So you're going to be feeling literally like an athlete. And that's one thing that I've seen people who, oh my gosh, it's really uplifting and empowering, because we are constantly focusing on, let's go heavier. Can you give me a little bit more, instead of like the inches and all these things? So it's been really, really beautiful to see. So the workouts, the strength workouts, you have a full body workout, you have an upper body, you have a lower body, which is my favorite leg day. We have a core workout and a metabolic full body. So the metabolic full body, is weighted. So that one has more like cleans, more explosive, powerful movements, really fun. I actually saw, and I don't know if you guys are doing MBF, doing like, I love Megan, and you were talking about the exercises in your program, and we actually have two moves that are very similar. It is like the beast to push up, and then we do that one on my program with adding some rows, and then we also do the bear row. So we have like similar when it comes to like the metabolic days. Is very not the same, but I'm glad that you guys are going to be ready and know how to do it. And then so when you do mine, we have snatches, we have cleans, but most of the workouts, you have different kind of warm-ups, because I'm really big on warm-ups. I'm big in mobility work because I have so many injuries and I understand the body. We do a lot of glute activation and hip and knee and ankle strengthening exercises. So it's a really complete program, even though it's time efficient. And then the same goes for the cool down. We have a separate cool down for after you guys do for the run. So I expect you guys to do that as well. We have an indoor rainy day cardio, and it's called rainy day cardio, but it's just like whenever, let's say that maybe one day that week from the 3 times or 2 times that you needed to go for a run, you couldn't make it out, then you can do that cardio. So it's a body weight HIIT style that has a lot of agility work. It's going to help increase your stamina. It is a little bit longer. It's 27 minutes. The running workouts are 18, and we only have one long that is 24. But keep in mind, those of you who are advanced, that's like the work. Like the 18 to 24 minutes, do not think, oh, that's not going to be enough. No, we are working on interval, and we're using all of the most effective ways for running. We do fartlek training, we do pyramids, we do ladders, we do HIIT runs, we do tempo runs. So it's very, very the programming, and you're going to get amazing results. When it comes to advanced runners, what we saw, people obviously getting stronger, people PR in their mile, crushing the 5K. There was somebody who take out 5 minutes from a 5K. That is insane. So expect, because a lot of people that are runners, most people don't have a running coach. They don't have somebody telling you what to do. So you're just like, and I'm always very impressed with the runners. They literally just, and I see it so much. I see people who run marathons and they don't even know how to run. So that's how resilient and amazing the human body is, and a testament that our bodies were designed to run, because I've seen people with the worst shape, like form, and they run ultra marathons. So here you can expect things feedback that we've gotten. I'm learning how to properly run. I'm being more intimate with my body. I'm doing strength training, which a lot of advanced runners neglect. And then I'm doing speed and interval work. So that's why they're getting faster and they're getting better. And obviously the aesthetics results, you guys are just going to start seeing, corporate's going to start putting more photos and things like that. But that's not even like, obviously when you do a program like this, you are kind of like checking your body in a different way. Like you're doing lifting, you're doing running, you're doing HIIT work. So expect your body. If you're hitting any plateau, it is one of those programs that there was someone who was 43 years old, which to me that's very young. And she said, I am in love with this program. I've been doing other programs, and it is like, it boosted my metabolism. I lost 6 pounds. I'm losing inches. So that was one of the things that I saw the most. People really, really getting results. They were increasing lean muscle mass, because we're not overdoing the cardio. And when you work on interval work, like the way we do, especially if you're just walking the recoveries, you are still your human growth hormone, you're getting that boost. So it's great to maintain the lean muscle mass. But again, it's always going to come down. Are you taking a recover? Are you eating? You're not in a crazy calorie deficit. Are you sleeping good at night? So it is very, very good. We saw people who never ran before, who hated running. Now they're obsessed. There was funny now we're starting getting, so we still have the group open. We are on round 2. And people apparently they didn't want to be on the test crew. They were disappointed that was the success, what they earned, because they didn't want it to run. And and a few people, they decided they didn't feel the registration to be in the second round. And they was doing it live and last Wednesday, and there were like a few comments, oh my God, I regret not signing up because I'm working out, but it's just not the same. So it is a great strength and conditioning program, really gonna make you feel empowered and get rid of many self-limiting beliefs. And I'm just super, super excited. Oh, Liz is here. Yeah, she's on the test group. Hi, Liz. Erica too. Erica, Allison, they're amazing. So there's already people here who are in the test group, and they are, oh my gosh. So I have to say just something personal. For many years, I use social media just because you kind of like, you have a job, you kind of have to. But this test group, I don't want to get emotional. They have made me enjoy and get out and be more personal again in social media. Like, they have been incredible. Like, I love them. They have no idea. They're always thanking me for that they've done for me. But I just love this group. They're incredible. And I'm really proud because it's not easy, but they're doing it and they're showing up every day. And I'm just so, so happy. Okay, another thing. If you're taking notes, people are comparing, is this like couch to 5K? Because these are questions that you guys are going to ask. Yes and no. So technically, if you're not a runner, you are going to be running a 5K. And yes, you are going to be able to do it in 30 days as long as you're taking care of your body, you're following the calendar, you're being good with your nutrition. But couch to K is 9 weeks. This is 4 weeks. So this is like way faster. Couch to 5K does not include strength training. This one does. And then the running workouts are longer and they're like less guided. So these are things that you guys should know because that's how they're different. Okay, questions, because I'm like talking about way too many things.
Okay, one of the questions that when I scroll back and saw was they would love to know where some of the locations are that you filmed, which I loved in the sample, how you changed the locations from lower body to upper body. So some of the locations, and maybe it says in the video when we get the actual program, but they would love to.
No, you guys are not going to believe this. So when we started filming, we went to Hawaii. We were going to go to different places. No, but we're not going to see that footage. So originally we're supposed to film in different, Sedona, Florida. Like we have this huge plan, even France, UK. But COVID happened, and I twisted my ankle when I was in Hawaii. Day 2 of filming, it was muddy, it was rainy, and there was like a hole in a pavement. Don't get scared. That's not gonna happen. Like the odds of that happening to you guys are like so. And then when we run with the crew, there's like people, so you kind of like have to be careful with the people in the camera. So I was just trying to have eye contact with the camera, and literally I just like. So day 2 of filming, I still film another workout like upper body, but that happened. So we have that setback. I wasn't public about it. I think this is the first time that I've said it. But then we got the lockdown from COVID. So it was kind of like a blessing in disguise because I got to heal. It was a huge setback for me to, oh my God, I need to get in shape again. But it was better because I was able to add in the mobility workouts, I add some ankle strengthening exercises to make sure that you guys just continue to get better and being healthy. So it was also like another opportunity for me to learn and even add something more like better to the program. But yes, I took a big hit because I had to like not run for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I'm like, so I was able to film the program and I was in decent shape, but it was hard. And I was doing everything in Spanish and English. So I would do the runs. I would have like 20-minute break, like maybe fix my hair, things like that. And I would go and film the Spanish. So it was like the beach body energized was like, I would have like half a scoop and then half a scoop. And that's why I said that on the sample, because that's literally what I was doing before, in between filming so I didn't abuse the Energize. I would have like half a scoop and half a scoop, and it really worked for me to keep my energy levels. But we filmed. Carl has like 300 acres in Malibu, and it was his ranch, and they found all these amazing places that they've never used. And then obviously we went to some local beaches and local parks, but it was like amazing. Like the person who works there, he was like, oh my God, like I'm so happy, I've been working here for so many years. And he created this path for us to go. Like it was such a mission, by the way. It was like, but that's like the boss. Yeah, it was in Malibu, California. But some of the runs, we went to the desert a few days, and then we went to Big Bear. That was actually hard to film there because I felt the altitude, and the people who were working with me, they were like, they had to go on bicycles because it was, it was hard. But anyways, yeah, it was in California.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Carl's the best.
So
So without feeling like you're endorsing anything, are there running shoes that you might recommend, especially for newbies?
yeah, so it's hard. And I was telling that to you, Julie, because we're all like, our feet are different. It depends on the shape of your whatever. When after that happened, I wasn't as picky with shoes. And then when I had that setback with my ankle, I noticed how some shoes, well, when I started running again, even big brands like Hoka and other brands that are like well known in the running industry, and even Brooks by then. Before that, I loved them. After my ankle, I was like, I don't know. Like I was spending money on these shoes and they didn't feel good. And my personal favorite ones that were good for my body and I didn't feel anything bad with my ankles were the Nike React Infinity. But again, I recommend people, we're all different. Some people might need to go to an ortho and get like inserts. So that's things that we have to do. Even if you're not a runner, like I recommend everybody to just go that extra mile and get to know your body, get educated, because sometimes we have like knee pains and hip pain and things, and it might be something, just change your footwear. So that's my favorite for now. I also try the Nike Dual, and this is the thing, I don't like Nike. I only like Nikes, and I told you because they are pretty. So for the social media and the clips that I film, but in real life, when it comes to lifting, I do it without any shoes, or I use Vivo barefoot footwear, or sometimes Nike Metcon. When I'm filming, obviously you're gonna see me in different shoes, but I am very vocal. When I remember during filming, I'm like, hey, remember that you do not use whatever you use for lifting, do not use for running, and vice versa. Because if you're using running shoes for lifting, trust me, your deadlifts are going to be crappy, your squats, you have too much sole, so you're not really strengthening properly your ankles, your feet, you're not going to have the same, kind of like you're not going to be able to have the same stability. And obviously you cannot run with shoes that are not meant to be running. But when it comes to brands, there's so many. If you Google best running shoes, and you're always going to find like the same ones on the list, like Brooks, Asics, Adidas, Ultra Boost, but it is so individual. So if you can go to a running store and get fitted, and maybe they're going to make you run for a bit, that would be the best way. If not, just order some, return some, see how you like them, and that's another option.
I used to wear Nike Shocks when I taught turbo. Speaking of turbo, it was like working out in stilettos. But why did we do it? Because they look good. That's why. That's the old Nike always looks the best.
And I feel bad as a fitness trainer because I know I'm being like a hypocrite, but hello, it's a program. Like I cannot just go without shoes the whole like, and some days I didn't have a pedicure, I was running way too much. So I was just using kind of like, what matches with the outfit, but I also have like a very advanced level of fitness, so I have more stability, but I hated it. Like when I filmed Relentless Leg, which is week 3 and 4 for lower body, I'm like, I don't care. So I wear very ugly black shoes that are just specifically for lifting, and I'm like, I am not going to be doing this again. So, and I think I talked that about it.
We talked about that because we're like, Brooks and New Balance, they're like the best, but they're so ugly, and Nike's so cute. So it's good to know that as they're getting ready, as we're all getting ready to start the program, we get set up, we wear our training shoes, because another question is there lifting and running in every program, every workout?
It depends the calendar that you follow.
Okay.
If you follow the time crunch, no. If you follow the advanced, yes. The basics, some days. Week 1, we start slowly, and that is the way that, and I know you guys are here in the test group, people were so impatient. Well, why do we have a rest day? Why do we have to do this? If you're new to running, trust me, you're gonna need those recovery days. If not, you're gonna be so sore and you might be more prone to get shin splints and other things. But some days you will be doing both. And at the end of last week, I think like 3 to 4 times. But this is very versatile. The reason why we lift first, obviously we're prioritizing strength training, but when it comes to I was thinking about the audience that I'm creating the program, and most of the people in Beachbody, they're not professional runners. If you are someone who is training for a half marathon or a marathon or a race, go ahead and prioritize and do the run first and then do the strength training. Because you want to spend most of your energy when it comes to the running. But for all of you, especially if you want to run the 5K in 4 weeks, we want to make sure that you're conditioning the body properly. We lift first because I want you guys to get the best results in body composition. So you lift first because you're going to burn through your muscle glycogen, and that is like your carbohydrates. The energy, that is what the body uses first as a source of energy. After that, by the time you're doing the intervals, because we spend 20 to 27 minutes lifting, those are short, they are a little bit intense. Your body has already gone through the glycogen, the carbs. What is it gonna do? The second source of energy, fat. And that's why people are getting incredible results, because it's strategic, the way that we lift, the way that is cardio. Other programs have it like all over. This is meant to do both for performance and to actually change the body composition. And that's why people are seeing amazing, amazing results when it comes to that. Oh, and then people can split up the workouts. I split them up often, especially now. Like I haven't been run. I did a job last week with Nordic Track, and I got the worst blisters. And then the day of travel, this doesn't even happen. My husband was like, "No way!" And then I sent him a photo. It was 5 a.m. I was getting out of my hotel. I had like bad blisters, and my suitcase hit it. And this is gross. Sorry, my dog. Let me just get her out. Go. She's always here with me. And then by the time my husband gets home, she's like, goes crazy. And then they broke with the suitcase. So I have to travel that day. I have sneakers and I have to use them as like sandals. I was like, and I still like, I film a few things for social, but I cannot wear shoes. It's just the most crazy thing. So I haven't been able to run. And I'm like, I want to run. Like I miss it. But yes, was I saying something before that?
So you can break, I think someone's like, you can,
oh, yes.
if you needed to break up
Totally,
lifting and the running.
You can totally do it. You can do one section in the morning, one section in the afternoon. I like to do it some days because I live in Florida. Now in fall, it's going to be easier because the weather gets nicer. For some of you, sadly, is the opposite. But I do my lifting in the mornings, or because it's short, and then because the workouts are so short, the running parts, then I do it I love evening running, like afternoon, because especially after a day, I get to clear my head. And I don't run every day. I run like 3 times a week, unless I'm doing the program. Sometimes I do it twice. But to me, it gives me life. It gives me creativity. I sleep better. And I just feel honestly like myself, because I love lifting weights, but to me, lifting weights is like eating vegetables. You have to do strength training. Like if you want to have a healthy body, eat your vegetables, even though I still have a lot of work to do. Today I cook asparagus though, and I ate like 5, but I have so much work to do when it comes to that. And people sometimes don't believe me, but it's what it is. And I don't want to lie to you guys. But yeah, I only eat asparagus when I know I'm like, I want my abs to show a little bit. It does work, but I like cauliflower. I like broccoli. I don't know. I don't know. I can't, like I said in the other call, I can't relate to, Brussels sprouts. I like Brussels sprouts, but then the way I cook them with like oil, salt, sometimes I put bacon and maple syrup. It's not super healthy, but I'm still eating veggies. But most days I just do it like with olive oil and salt, and it tastes so good, like in the oven. But Brussels sprouts are probably my favorite. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to.
Let's, I just want to make sure that we go over a couple of the pieces of information for the coaches so they're reminded of the information. The coach exclusive window, October 5th through October 18th. So coaches have that exclusive time to purchase. And then are you doing a group, Idalis? Are you doing a VIP group?
Yes, I have to, because I want to. There's so much information and so many things that I've been able to share with the test group. And I really like, this is such an amazing tool for you guys, both personal and then in your business. I want to make sure that you guys really maximize it. And there's so little that we can cover on this call. So that's where we're going to be going live. There's more resources when it comes to pregnancy, postpartum, how to utilize this. There's going to be like more information. So we're definitely, I'm going to be there with you guys during the VIP group.
So once they purchase as a coach in that window, then they'll probably get a link or an invitation, or there'll be a group, and then they'll put all their information in, and they'll be able to be in that group like before. And then customers and VIP early access launch coaches starts then on October 18th. So that gives you this lovely 2-week window really to be doing the program, to be experiencing the program, to be living in the program and starting to feel your own results, really feel it in your body, so that as you're talking about it with authenticity. And then being in the group with Idalis too, you'll be learning about it and you'll be able to share that information as well. So then as your customers come in on October 19th, you've got a little bit of experience, just like we've done with our previous launches. So it's such a brilliant way to launch a program and to really feel it in your body and then be able to share it with customers. So those are the two important dates. Purchase, we've got challenge packs, accessory bundles, all that kind of stuff, calendar, Spanish and English, nutrition programs come with it. Anything I'm forgetting there?
Somebody asked, do we work out 5 or 6 days a week, 5 days a week? And then some days 6, but it includes some mobility. It's like the recovery day.
Perfect.
And then I want to make sure that I answer everything. Any other questions? I'm trying to think about, so I'm sure there's some things that I left out. So feel free in the next 5 minutes.
October 5th through the 18th.
Oh, pregnancy. So yeah, there are people in the test group that they were rocking it. Some people feel like, obviously, like if you're pregnant, just do what you can, go at your own pace. You don't have to run all the intervals, maybe jog a little bit if you feel good, or you can walk. So there are many ways that you can utilize this to get in amazing shape. When it comes to the exercises to avoid, it's very safe. It's very similar. The strength training does not include a lot of plyos, only in the leg workout. And I keep my plyo work very short. I don't believe in doing plyo for 60 seconds. Very few people can do it. I can do it properly. So we do it for like 20 to 30 seconds. And that would be like at the end, like a little finisher that I always do. But you don't, so stay away from the plyos. When it comes to the core, stay away from anything on the plank position. Always elevate your hands. If you have a bench, if you have a chair or your sofa, and make sure that, just kind of like listening to your body and avoid obviously everything. But some things are pretty like, you guys know, when it comes to postpartum, if you're just had a baby, wait obviously until you're clear. Before that, I feel like every woman should start adding movement and doing exercises to rehab your pelvic floor, which sadly the doctors still don't tell us to do. They just said, oh, wait until 6 weeks, but that doesn't mean that you can just start doing everything. No, start little by little. After week 3, start doing some kind of like TVA breathing and other exercises, and then start slowly adding the strength training without doing the core workouts, because you want to make sure that you don't have diastasis. And then you definitely should be doing the intervals of work. We're going to have 2 bonus walking, and then even the running ones, you can do it with your baby, and that will be, oh my God, such a blessing for you to go out with your baby and to add movement, to walk it out. I've had 3 C-sections. I wait until like 3 to 4 months, and I know exactly how to do my pelvic floor and things like that. And then I start little by little adding running, but I do not overdo it. So you should start like maybe do one of the workouts slowly and start increasing. And I will recommend that you guys start running after 12 weeks. And that's me being nice. If you were actually responsible and got educated and started rehabbing your pelvic floor since week 5.
That's so good. So good. Okay. So to wrap this up, do you want to talk about, what do you want to say about being the first Latina trainer for Beachbody and just creating this program and being such a role model for females and for trainers and for Latina women and for all of us?
So being the first is hard. You have to face so many challenges and you basically have to become a trailblazer. So one thing, like when Mes de Mas and even this program is kind of like, I am just so blessed. Like all the glory that everything I do is because of my Father in heaven. But I have to say that you have to have like a thicker skin and you have to be patient. Whenever you are the first at doing something, you have to be more patient when it comes to getting the results, the rewards, because you're just doing something for the first time. And it's weird because I thought it was going to be different, but that has been my experience. Like I need to be like, oh, wow. And like everything that I've done with Beachbody, I've really been the first. So it kind of takes a little longer to take off and things like that. But I think it is amazing. And I just can't believe it. Like when I started in fitness, my English was so bad. When I started with women's health, they were nice to me and they gave me opportunities, but some of the films that I did, they couldn't even use. My English was terrible. I was horrible in camera. So all I have to say is like, you guys, when you guys want something, it's not easy. You have to put in the work. You have to suck at it. And the same applies for running. You have to be willing to really suck at it and be patient until you get better. When I filmed my first DVD, I used to rehearse. I used to cry. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. Like my English, everything. And I have to learn everything from scratch. So, it has been a lot of work, but I'm just blessed and humble that I and my daughters are just so proud of me and to teach them, like, you know what, like sometimes life when your first dreams don't happen, like my dream was a total different one, but it doesn't mean that we cannot reinvent ourselves and just to find our purpose. And to me, what I do now is even more special than if I would have been to the Olympic. And I actually meant this because by then it was just all about me, 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 me. And that's this is about in the test group. This is just about, yes, like I'm the instrument, but what I get to do for other people. And when I see that, like when everybody was running the 5K day, I cried so much that day. And even my 10-year-old, she was like, Mom, let me see now. Let me see the result. Let me see. And I was just crying, seeing the videos, seeing how they got so creative with the finish lines, with shock, the kids putting the medal to their moms, families getting together. And that's like the most amazing thing that I think about being the first Latina. And I probably didn't answer the question, but that's what I got now.
I think you answered the question. I think you did. We're so lucky to have you, Idalis. We just are. Thank you so much for sharing a little extra time with us tonight. We're so glad that we were your last one tonight, and we're so excited for this program. I know it's going to be amazing. And, just encourage everyone to try it. You are your best experiment. Just try it. What do you possibly have to lose?
Just give it a try.
Yes.
Get yourself out of that little box. You are going to surprise yourself. And it's just, you'll see. Just trust me. After even day one of the test group, people were like crying. That's how it is that good. But thank you so much for everyone who hang out with me tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you, Julie. You've been so good to me always since I started in the company, and I just don't take those things lightly. So thank you. And I respect you so much. Thank you to all of you for all your hard work, for helping people every day, for getting out of your comfort zone, and for just going the extra mile and everything that you guys do. God bless, and hope to see you guys in October. Yay!
Thank you.
Bye.